All Business Media presents the Professionals Roundtable. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable with Rick Delgado. Exclusively on All Business Media.
And welcome to All Business Media FM, where it is all business all the time. And I'm your host, Rick Delgado. And welcoming to the show right now is a gentleman based out of Union County, New Jersey. He is a nutritional coach and owner of Team Vinny Russo, LLC. You can go to the website by the same name, vinnyrusso.com, or give him a call at 908-875-9780. How about a nice roundtable welcome for Mr. Vinny Russo? Vinny, welcome to the show, and how are you?
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us. Now, I know that you're a busy person, so let's get right to it. Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and exactly what you do?
All right. So, I'll just get right into it with the company.
Okay.
Basically, my company, I'm a nutritional coach, and it's geared towards individuals who really want to make a change for the better. They want to feel better about themselves. For those who need assistance in kind of taking that leap into that healthy and fit lifestyle.
Right.
It's for those people that, have tried all this stuff out already and are just tired of that endless cardio. They're exhausted from all the calorie counting. They're tired of, doing these fad diets and losing the weight only to just gain it back. And they're tired of all these inconsistencies, so to speak.
Right.
So it's for the person who's looking for ways to be healthy by losing body fat, by following a sustainable nutrition plan, by putting less emphasis on so much cardio nowadays, using nutrition that's actually appetizing, that you enjoy, and having the end result be a new you that's improved, and basically, you feel great about yourself. That's what the company is all about.
Right.
About me, I have this innate passion for nutrition and training and the science behind everything, especially with supplementation and how it affects the human body.
Right.
And through my services, I like to provide these personalized and custom nutrition plans that are used not only to help my clients reach their goals and evolve their body, but I use this stuff to help educate my clients, especially with the relationship with food and, how to be mindful and with decision making, and basically just have them live this healthy and fit lifestyle, not just see things as a diet, because if it's a diet, just like it's spelled out, D-I-E, it's going to die out sooner or later, so you've got to make it a lifestyle.
Yeah, you know what, that's completely true. It will kind of, after a while, people get tired of being on a diet, and let's face it, when you're on a diet, it means that you're cutting out stuff and feeling deprived and depriving yourself, and when you do that, you kind of lose that interest in doing it, right?
Exactly. I mean, when you start cutting out the favorite foods that you like to, indulge in, or at least enjoy with your family, like if I come from an Italian family, so on Sundays, having pasta and the meatballs, and, if you're on a diet, and it's Sunday and you're sitting there and you're eating a garden salad while everyone else is indulging in, ravioli and rigatoni, and, you feel upset.
Yeah.
And that's not a way to live. I mean, you should be able to know how to incorporate those foods into your plan so you can sit there and you can still enjoy that time with your family. That's the whole point. I mean, eating is a luxury of life.
Right.
It really is. So why would you deprive yourself of that?
Yeah. And now, how do you go about, like what got you started? Was it your background? Were you an athlete growing up, and that's kind of what led you down this road, or what brought you to this point?
Yeah, so growing up, I mean, I was extremely competitive. I was always into sports, and I always had to train to be the best no matter what. I played high school football and baseball. I was all-state in both sports. I went on to play college football, and I became an all-MAC outside linebacker. And from there, it was kind of like, where do I go from here? I'm not playing in the NFL, but I still had like this competitive edge in me, and I loved the training aspect of it, right? So it was like, what do I do from here? I'm still in the gym. I'm still doing this. And I was like, all right, well, let me start competing. And then that's kind of where everything came in, and this is where my business actually started.
Right.
So
did you go into bodybuilding? Is that what was the next step?
Yeah, so the next step was more of, it wasn't bodybuilding. I honestly, I couldn't get that big, and I didn't want to use anything to get that big.
Right.
So I went into classic physique, which is they wear the board shorts. It's more of a leaner aesthetic look.
Right.
So I did that, and I was with a great coach who started me off, and just seeing how my body changed through nutrition made me fall in love with it. Like, I always knew the training aspect. I always had that stuff behind me. I had the mentality and how to train hard. I had all that, but I never had the nutrition down pat.
Right.
And once he started putting me through different manipulations, I got so intrigued on how did this work in the body. And I actually have a degree in biology. And I was just like, I need to know this. I need to know this. So I went out, and I'm basically self-taught nutrition. And I used different manipulations on myself, and then I used different manipulations. I actually taught nutrition coach my wife into her first competition. That's what started my business, because other people saw her transformation. I was like, damn, like, how do you get like that?
Right.
And she was like, well, I listened to him. And by word of mouth, it just started to happen.
Right.
And it's really, it was just my passion for knowing why all these little things happen. Maybe it's an OCD, maybe I'm anal, I don't know. But it's just I needed to know how and why. And I just found this love and this passion for the nutrition and how it affects the human body.
Right. And it is amazing, because a lot of times you find out that, you know what, it's not so much, oh, you're lifting more weight than this guy, or you're doing more cardio than that person, or whatever. It really does come down to what you're putting inside your body, because that's the ultimate, that's your fuel.
Exactly. And, if you're not fueling your body the right way, it's not going to run efficiently. It's like giving a car some gasoline that needs diesel, and you're giving it regular.
Right.
It's not going to run the way it's supposed to run. So, you could train all you want, but you could train as hard as you want. Lift as many weights as you want. If you're looking for a specific look, you have to manipulate the nutrition to reach that specific look.
Right.
Whether it's even hey, if you're a powerlifter or you're a strongman and you need to be this big, massive block of meat, if you need to be that, you have to eat that way to get like that.
Right.
If you want to be this bodybuilding competitor, you have to eat a certain way to get down to that specific body fat.
Right. And now, when you start working with somebody for the first time, how do you go about, okay, let's figure out the right plan for you? Because, let's face it, Vinny, not everybody's the same. People are going to have, their bodies react differently to just about everything. How do you determine, what plan is going to work best for them?
And you know what? It's going to be based on my first conversation I had with the potential client.
Right.
So basically, the first nutritional consult, it's a free talk, is the way I like to say it. We just sit down, we just talk back and forth. I listen to your habits. I take notes of what you eat during the day, what you like, what you don't like, how you go about your day, how much stress you're dealing with, if you have kids, what kind of job you have, and we go through it. And then what I do is I give you a little advice. I see where, and you make your big initial mistakes, and maybe you could start here, you could start there. And it's a conversation that we just have back and forth.
Right.
And from there, it's not too business savvy, because number one, I'm not getting paid to have this conversation,
right.
And it takes time. And then number two, what I do is I kind of leave the ball in their court, which, like I said, isn't great for business, but I don't want to be too salesy and be like, all right, listen, let's sign up right now, blah.
Right.
No,
yeah.
It's like, all right, here's the ball, take it in your court, take some time, listen to what I said. If you want to try out my few pieces of advice for a little bit, try it out. And if they start working, maybe you might believe that I know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm confident in that. So when we get from there, when we get to that point where we're like, all right, Vin, I'm ready to go, let's start up. It's like, okay, well, look, are you into counting macronutrients? Are you into weighing out food? Do you not want to do that at all? Do you want to just change the bad habits into good habits? And it's basically, I'm asking the clients what they really want to do, so then I know how to do their diet. So I give a variety of different diets, whether it's just habit-based or whether it's macro counting, whether it's a choice diet where there's a lot of variety but you got to follow portion sizes, or whether it's structured, it's where I tell you exactly what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes people need that. Because you leave them to their own devices, and they'll start off for a couple weeks, and they'll be all gun-ho and, doing great. They're doing everything they're supposed to do, and then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, what happened? You ended up on the couch with 8 bags of potato chips. Yeah,
you're exactly right. And I think that the key word there is sustainable. Is what you're going to do. Is it sustainable? Because if not, you're just going to fall off the wagon.
Right.
And you're going to fall off hard because you restricted yourself so hard. So the thing is like, you got to find something that fits your lifestyle. Like, I have clients who do intermittent fasting. I don't do intermittent fasting, but I'm not against it, and it just fits their lifestyle there. They don't like to eat in the morning.
Right.
They like to eat, within a certain window between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock. They want to get all their food in there. That's where they feel comfortable. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll make it work. There's some people who have, different beliefs. Like, I have a vegan client, and she's she's all about, the veganism, and I have no problem with it. I'm not against it, but it's what we have to do to make her feel comfortable.
Right.
Now,
in terms of, because a lot of times, you see this happen. Basically, it happens every January 1st. Everybody's like, oh, new year, new me. I'm going to do it all. They run out, they sign up for the gym, and, they start.
That gym is packed on January 2nd.
It's packed for at least the first 8 to 10 days. You can't even walk around. And then all of a sudden, boom, it clears out again. And it's that sustainability that you were talking about that I think, you get to that point where after you've tried everything else, it's like, oh, I really need to make a change. And it becomes, I think you've got it on your website here, lifestyle change. You're changing the way you live.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I mean, people, look, a lot of people just need that help. They just need that accountability. They just need that guidance. So you don't need a coach to be there and tell you, you got to live your life this way, and they got to scream at you and be a drill sergeant. You could have a coach like myself that does nutrition, can guide you here and there with that, but use them for accountability. So have accountability methods. Like, hey, you got to do your cardio because you want to do your cardio. That's the only way you work out because you don't like lifting with weights. That's fine. But guess what? When you do your cardio, I want an email or I want a text message saying, guess what? I'm starting now, and then when you're done. So then I know that I'm holding you accountable.
Right.
So there's different methods that you could do, but like you said, I mean, the people that go to the gym on that January 1st, they all sign up. It's like they have the right mentality in the beginning. And then something happens, that fire dies out.
Right.
But you could have that coach there to keep putting that gas to that fire, to keep it burning.
Right. And I think another thing is, the intimidation factor as well, because sometimes, you do have that intention in your head, and you're thinking, okay, this is, I'm going to do this, and maybe you do get to the gym, or you go shopping, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's great to have that coach there to say, you know what, here, let me show you how easy this can be.
Exactly, and it's funny because a couple of my personal training clients, they're women who really never lifted before, and I preach the distance training, and there's so many benefits to it. And so I get them into the gym, and they're like, I'm nervous. And I'm like, well, why are you nervous? And, well, there's so many big people here. There's so many big weights around. I'm using 5 pounds. I'm like, listen, don't worry about anybody else but yourself. We all started somewhere.
Right.
Okay? We all have to start somewhere. Sooner or later, you're going to work your way up, and you're going to get more comfortable. And there's going to be a point in time in your life where you'll be able to do it by yourself, and you won't need me anymore. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's what I'm here. I'm here to guide you down a path to reach a specific goal. And then once you get to that goal, for you to feel comfortable enough to basically take the training wheels off and you ride your bike by yourself.
Right, and do it on your own. Again, we're talking to Vinny Russo. He is the owner at Team Vinny Russo, LLC, out of Union County, New Jersey. VinnyRusso.com is his website. You can go on there, find out everything that he does, or you can give him a call at 908-875-9780. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do more. We'll find out a little bit more about some of the things that Vinny does when he works with you, and we'll do that right after these words right here on All Business Media.
South Austin Counseling Services, LLC, SACS, offers the South Austin and surrounding communities professional counseling services of a diverse and committed group of independent mental health professionals. The licensed mental health clinicians at SACS specialize in providing professional counseling and wellness services to individuals, groups, couples, families, teams, and even businesses. Our independent professionals have the education, experience, and complementary specialties that allow us to meet diverse client needs and wants in just one location. So why go anywhere else? If you're looking for professional counseling, psychotherapy, clinical assessments, wellness services, customized training services, or even more, call now to 512-280-5315 or go to our website, southaustincounselingservices.com. You can also email info@southaustincounselingservices.com. South Austin Counseling Services, LLC, your one-stop shop for wellness. Many of us want to find a way to help others, a way to give a little back out of the much that we've been blessed with. St. Joseph Catholic Church sends many needy students home for the weekend with food that they might not have been able to eat without the church's help. Their Backpack Buddies program feeds these children at a cost of about $1,000 every week. Give these children something on their plates and give their parents the peace of mind of not having to worry about their children going hungry. Go to stjosephjasper.com or visit their Facebook and Twitter at St. Joe Jasper. Contact Mike directly at mike@stjosephjasper.com or call 812-482-1805. St. Joseph Catholic Church. Food for every child.
All Business Media presents the Professionals Roundtable. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable with Rick Delgado. Exclusively on All Business Media.
And welcome back to All Business Media, where it is all business all the time. And yes, I'm your host, Rick Delgado. And again, we're sitting with Vinny Russo. You can go to his website, vinnyrusso.com, and find out more about what he does as a nutritional coach as well. You can see the services he provides, his philosophy, some of his success stories. He's got some great photographs on there as well. And again, Vinny, thank you so much for spending the time with us today. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And it really is, it's not a quick fix, is it? When you decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to contact Vinny, I'm going to work with him, because it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to lose, it's not going to be like 10 pounds in 10 days kind of thing, right?
No, not a chance. One of my main things is do not come to me for any type of quick fix, because I don't do that, plain and simple. I'm just so against just degrading or suppressing that metabolism that you have by drastically cutting your calories. So I'm not about the whole crash diet thing. A lot of people, they're so obsessed with scale weight, but what they don't get is that it's very, very misleading. So instead of being so concerned with how much you weigh on a scale and that your goal is like, I want to lose 15 pounds,
right,
be more concerned with your energy levels. Are you getting stronger in the gym? How do you feel overall? Do you have that little pep in your step now?
Right.
With the crash diets, I might go on a little tangent here, so stop me if I get too long.
No, go ahead. Feel free.
But with crash diets in general, I mean, the reason why they call them crash is because you crash, plain and simple. You cut your calories so bad, right? So initially, this is what happens. You make this drastic cut in calories, and you initially lose this weight, and it gets you hooked. And you're like, damn, this works. I can see the results. I can feel the results with the scales dropping. This is great. Then all of a sudden, you hit this plateau, and you don't know what to do from there. And the only thing that you feel like doing, well, if I cut calories in the beginning, it'll work. Let me cut calories again. So you drastically cut your calories again, and it works again. And you get these results, and then all of a sudden it plateaus, but it plateaus a little bit quicker now.
Right.
You're like, well, what the hell's going on? Well, here's the thing. So the reason why you're plateauing is because your body is suppressing its metabolism because it's trying to meet the needs of the caloric intake that you're feeding it. So it's saying, look, if you're not going to feed me all these calories, I'm going to slow down my overall metabolism,
right?
Just so I don't starve to death. So I'm going to slow down my metabolism because you're not feeding me enough.
Yeah.
So what happens? So let's just say initially. Let's go with the 10 pounds that you said. So you lose 10 pounds of scale weight, right? And
Yep.
you're happy. You're like, yeah, I lost 10 pounds of scale weight. But 5 pounds of that weight came from fat, and 5 pounds came from muscle. So when this happens, you are at the same body fat percentage, just now with a slower metabolism. So you're actually in a worse place than before you started. And people don't realize that. So don't be concerned with whether the scale weight's dropping or not. There's a picture on my website where there's this 3-month transformation of a woman, and it looks like she lost literally 35 pounds, and it was only 8 pounds of scale weight.
Really?
Only 8 pounds, but it looks like she lost 35. I mean, it's amazing. And the whole thing is you can't be so concerned with, is the numbers dropping? Are the numbers dropping? Are the numbers dropping? Don't worry about that. Worry about, are you losing body fat? Is your total body composition changing? That's what you need to worry about. And the thing is that society, especially the media, they preach this, get thin, get leaner, lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks with this diet, and it just puts this message into the minds of the public, and it's the wrong message to be putting out there.
Well, it's an impossible goal that they think everyone can reach. Well, and it's their fault to think, okay, you know what, I can do that because I saw it on TV, so it's got to be real, Vinny. It's got to be real. It's on TV, right?
And it's true, because like you look at something like Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, listen, he's a very, very intelligent man. He really is, and I'm not knocking him at all. He gets paid for what he does. But there's things, like, you got to understand, like, he has to have a show almost every day, so he has to come up with new material almost every day to talk about. It doesn't happen like that in the real world. Like, science doesn't automatically evolve every single day and something new pops up. That doesn't happen. So a lot of the things that are being said on those type of shows are all for different companies to start making money. Like if he preaches raspberry ketones, which is, it's great. Raspberry ketones are great for you. But if he preaches that, any supplement that sells raspberry ketones are going to go through the roof.
Right.
With their profit.
Yep. Hey, let me ask you this. Now, do you educate your people when you're working with them on stuff like, because I see here on your website, VinnyRusso.com, you've got an article on the hormones in the body. Do you guys go over that as well? Do you kind of say, okay, here's what insulin does, here's its job, that kind of thing, so people kind of realize, okay, this kind of food is going to make me secrete more insulin or stuff like that?
Well, this once again depends on the individual. Some people want to get deep down into the science, and some people could care less about it.
Right.
So when I bring it up, if I'm looking at you face to face and I bring something up and you start going into this gaze, I kind of stop the conversation right there. But if someone reaches out and asks me about it, then yeah, we get in depth. We go into the science behind all this stuff, because my whole thing is I want to educate you on why we're doing what we're doing.
Right.
So if you learn it, okay, if you learn these manipulations or you learn these methods and you understand why they work for your body, then you're going to be able to use that. Okay, so I want to empower you with this knowledge that I know. I want to give that to you so then you can use it by yourself. And look, like I said, I'm not the best business savvy person out there. I'm not, especially with some of the methods I do. But my whole goal is to get you to one day not need my services anymore.
Right.
That's the whole point. I want to educate you to that point.
Yeah, and again, you can check out some of Vinny's services again on his website, VinnyRusso.com. He's got a profile there as well as the services tab, the success. You can see some of the testimonials and progress photos that some of his clients have put up there as well. And let me ask you this, because I know you mentioned early on when we started talking that you weren't big into, you're not big into pushing your clients into cardio, into weights, but if they want to do more of stuff like that, is that something you help them integrate into a system?
Of course, because if it's something that they want to do, then they're going to keep doing it.
Right.
If it's something that they don't want to do, they're going to resist it. So, look, if you don't want to weight train, but you want to do cardio, you love running, you get a runner's high from it, that's fine. Like me, I'm not a runner. I could care less about that. If I'm going to run, it's going to be hill sprints or something like that. It's not going to be this long-distance stuff. I'm not into that. But if you are, that's cool. We're going to incorporate that, and we're going to make it work for you. That's the whole thing. Everything, there's no cookie-cutterness with what I do.
Right.
It's tailored towards your liking, because if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. And guess what? If you don't stick with it, then I fail as a coach.
Right.
And I'm not very fond of failing at all in anything. So
I could tell. And is that really you at the top picture on your website there?
Yes.
With the eagle?
That is me.
Jesus. Freaking huge, man. And so now when somebody does get started with you, what kind of thing, is it a specific amount of time when you get started? Do you have time limits and stuff like that to say, okay, here's our goal for the first week, here's our goal for the next week and stuff like that when you're working with somebody, or do you kind of more long-term it out? Because it is a change in not only lifestyle but in developing new habits.
Yes. So it's more of a long-term deal, honestly. In terms of a time frame, I say, if you sign up with me, it's got to be a minimum of 3 months.
Right.
And the reason why I say 3 months is because you might not see the results that you want to see in the first and a half to 2 months. Because, like I said, I don't do anything quick fix,
Right.
So that third month come around, that's when I hook you. That's when it's like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm seeing the results. I'm feeling them. It feels great. Some people see it right off the bat, and I love it because that makes me look great,
Right.
But some people take a lot longer. So it's a minimum of 3 months. Give me the opportunity to show you and educate you on how to slowly start taking those steps towards your goal.
Right.
And then from there, it's like a month-to-month basis, right? So you would pay me month-to-month after the first initial 3 months, or you could sign up for a whole year, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But the thing is we take it step by step towards your goal. And as we implement new habits and they build off one another, then, I want to say that, because the bodybuilder kind of popped into my head. Like, if the bodybuilder signs up with me, it's like, all right, here's your show date. This is what we got to do. So that's totally different.
Yeah, that's different because you've got an end date. You've got a specific goal in mind, and you work backwards from there. I get that.
Yeah, so me speaking to the general public, it's like, look, if you're not stepping on stage, no, it's a long-term deal because we are turning this into a lifestyle for you, plain and simple.
Yeah.
So we're not going to put a timeline on your goal. If you come to me and you're like, Vin, look, I have this. I want to be able to fit into this dress in this amount of time. Then, yeah, we'll work towards that, plain and simple.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's avoiding the people that are or avoiding that mindset of only what's on the scale is what I'm thinking of because I have to lose weight, and it doesn't happen really that way when you're working with someone like Vinny Russo. So go to his website, vinnyrusso.com. Again, it's about making a healthy and fit lifestyle change. Yeah,
that's exactly it. And you know what? Once you commit to that lifestyle, it's no longer. It might be a challenge in the beginning, but once those habits get instilled in you, they're now instilled in you. They're habits now. You do it without even thinking.
Right.
And that's the whole point, and that's how it becomes this lifestyle.
Yeah, and how do you address? Okay, so say you're working with somebody. Again, we're almost out of time here, Vinny. But you did mention something very early on, being Italian and everything. You know, the big Sunday dinner, where dinner is not just 20 minutes you sit down and eat. That's like 8 hours of food. Yeah. Going on for you Italians, you're crazy. But say somebody does have special events coming up like holidays or business dinners and stuff like that. Do you kind of help them, especially if they tell you, say, look, I've got this week-long vacation I'm going on. I really don't want to fall off the wagon here.
Yeah, so I usually give like vacation tips and holiday tips. Drink this amount of water, eat this before you eat your meal.
Right.
Give the 10-minute rule. Like I give those tips, but with gung-ho clients and people that really don't want to go overboard, what I do is I manipulate the diet a couple days before the event, and we kind of go into the event to kind of give them that freedom of, listen, I know you're going to splurge, you know you're going to splurge, so let's kind of take the precaution beforehand so when you do splurge, you don't have that huge amount of damage, so to speak.
Now what's the 10-minute rule real quick?
Oh, the 10-minute rule is kind of like, listen, you finish your first plate, wait 10 minutes. Wait 10 minutes to go eat your second plate because the food has to get into your body, has to get into your system, and it has to tell your brain that you know what, you're full. And that takes about 10 minutes to happen. So especially, listen, if it's Thanksgiving dinner and you have all that amazing smelling, tasting food right in front of your face, those 10 minutes is going to feel like an hour. It really is.
This is true. Or, you know what, if it's Thanksgiving, hopefully you sit down on the couch to wait for those 10 minutes and you open up the pants and next thing you know, you fall asleep. So then you don't go back for the seconds.
Yeah, they do that. But one of my big things that I tell my clients, especially with holidays, is load up on fiber. Like, just load up on raw vegetables with dips, whatever. I use like a Walden Farms balsamic vinaigrette. I dip like my raw broccoli in their celery, and I load up on that. And what it does is it fills you up. But also, if you go to eat like a simple carbohydrate, like you're going to have some pasta with it, because of the fiber content that you already were just eating, it literally slows down the insulin spike, so it almost turns it into like a complex carbohydrate, like a healthier carb for you.
Right. All right. Well, that's something that would take a little more education, at least for me, to know about that. Again, our guest has been Vinny Russo. He's the owner at Team Vinny Russo LLC out of Union County, New Jersey. VinnyRusso.com is his website. You can also shoot him an email at coachvinnyrusso@gmail.com, or better yet, give him a call, 908-875-9780. Again, Vinny, thank you so much for spending the time with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And just so everyone knows, that's Vinny with a Y, not an I-E.
Yes, Vinny with a Y. VinnyRusso.com, Vinny with a Y. And, thank you again, and we'll be back with more on All Business Media.